Hi everyone, welcome back to this ongoing series where we use Rust to generate some art in the form of GIFs and MP4 videos. Today, we're going to make what might be the simplest output possible, which is a red square which flashes and then fades, demonstrating the decay function built into the application. This one will likely be very short, but it will give you a chance to check that everything is set up before having a go yourself. This slide shows the square we want to draw to the first frame of the animation. A black square of 600 by 600 pixels, and inside it a red square of 300 by 300, but centered within the black background. The x-coordinate starting point for the square, as if we were drawing it line by line, would be the width over 4, or quarter of the way across, and the endpoint for that would be 3/4 of the way across, or 3 times the starting value. The calculation for the y-axis is the same, but derived from the height. So now we move to the code inside main.rs, which is inside the source folder. First, we're going to tweak some of the constant values, setting the number of frames to 40 and the number of repetitions to 10. Then we scroll down to our main function, and specifically the bit which is labelled to do, put your code here. First, we create an if statement to make sure that we only set the square on the first frame of the animation by writing if frame equals 0. Then we create a new variable called xStart to hold the value of 1/4 of the width, or the width constant, over 4. And then xEnd, which is just 3 times the start value. Then we create a variable called yStart, which is the height divided by 4. And lastly, the variable yEnd, which is 3 times the yStart. Now we will create a for loop to loop through all of the possible x values between xStart and xEnd. And inside this loop, we will loop through all of the possible y values between yStart and yEnd. Finally, we will set the color of the pixel by calling image.putPixel, passing in the x and y coordinates, and thirdly the color of the pixel we want to put there as an RGB value, represented as an array of 8-bit values, meaning that 255 is the maximum. Now we will run the shell script run_build.sh, which initiates Docker. If you get an error about Docker, make sure that the Docker desktop application is installed and running. This might take a while on the first run because it might not have the images stored locally, so we'll need to pull those down first before building. And if we go to the Data Outputs folder, we see that our GIF and MP4 file are waiting for us there. Clicking on the GIF, we can see that it looks as we'd expect. And the MP4 also works. You'll notice the frame rate is faster on the video. For some reason the GIF is not rendering at the fastest possible frame rate, an issue I'm aware of and looking into. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been a very simple introduction to the generative art project, and we hope that you can join us next time for a more complex example of how the system works, as well as inspiring you to have a go and create your own generative art. For now though, I'll wish you a good day, hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.